Good morning, everyone. It's me, Rory Paddock from picksfromthepaddock.co.uk. We are live. It is on the nod. It is Saturday. It's the 1st of July, and it is just gone at 7:50 in the morning. Can we have another profitable day? I really hope you got on my selections yesterday. It was a very profitable Friday indeed. I'm going to give myself a little bit of a self-congratulatory pat on the back. 7 horses, 4 winners and 1 place. Golden Duke, Taffridge, Miami Thunder, and the franchise all won. And Enderman was 1.5 lengths back in third. I did advise that I was going to be backing them in each way, sort of lucky combinations. But actually, what I bet was an each way. It's Super Heinz. It did produce a mammoth return. Golden Duke kicked off proceedings. These are just the SPs with a 33-1 win. Taffridge, short price favourite at 5-4. Miami Thunder returned at 11-1. And the franchise returned, I think, at 7s. And Enderman was backed into joint favourite at 5-1. For a 10p each way, for a 10p each way, Super Heinz, you ended up walking away with over 4 figures. I hope that we can repeat that sort of effort today. Whether or not we can do, I'm not so sure, but we've got to give it a go. So if you do follow my selections today, I am going to be putting these bets in an each way lucky bet. There's only 6 horses this Saturday, so I'm doing an each way lucky 63. So without further ado, what you're here for are winning selections, and hopefully I've got a few of them. Kick-starting proceedings, we're going to head to Ireland, where I'm going to go with Ice Cold in Alex and the 250 at the Curragh. The last time that Ice Cold in Alex lined up here at the Curragh, he produced an impressive performance to finish second. It also indicated that despite the fact that this horse has been around for ages, it's now 9 years old as a flat horse. That's certainly the twilight of his career. But the fact that he was able to finish second showed that he is no forlorn hope and he still retains plenty of ability. Now back to the Curragh with less weight on his back and a dropping distance, both of which I think will suit. Currently, best price at 10-1. I think he's more than able to finish in the frame this afternoon. Ice Cold in Alex, a decent shout there in the 250. We then go from Ireland over to England. Newmarket obviously has racing on ITV, as does Newcastle. It's the Northumberland Plate. If you want selections for any of today's ITV races, head on over to our completely free app. I'm going to be looking at races purely away from the ITV cameras. As you can see here in the 3 o'clock at Newmarket, I've gone with Royal Charter. Now, Canoodled isn't without a chance. That's currently 9-1. However, with just the 7 horses that are going to post, there's only going to be 2 places available for anyone looking to place an each way bet. And unfortunately, because of that, I am going to end up going with the favourite. Ended up finishing second last time out. I think it's a former course winner. The combination of the 2 bills are teaming up. We've got William Buick in the saddle and trainer William Haggis. When they team up, they've got a decent strike rate, just under 20%. So certainly top of their game. I think William Buick could potentially have quite a few winners on the day, but Godolphin and Charlie Appleby didn't have the stellar Royal Ascot that many thought. So the fact that he teams up with William Haggis here, that gives me a bit more confidence. The horse actually showed signs of greenness when it did finish as runner-up last time. I think a better run is certainly expected here. He'll appreciate a step up in trip to a mile, back at a course that he's won at before, and now with a recent run under his belt, should strip much fitter. Royal Charter, I'd be surprised if it went off 5-2, but grab it whilst it's there. Royal Charter, my idea of the winner in the 3 o'clock at Newmarket. Then, just 7 minutes later at Chester, I'm going to go with Roman Dragon. Now, I have to confess, it's a horse that's a bit of a cliff horse. I'm convinced it'll win sooner rather than later, and I'm hoping it's going to be today. Now, I'm certainly not one for cribbing jockeys. Geez, with my frame, I've sat on a horse once, and I'm certainly nowhere near the talents that anyone in the weighing room are. I'm not the biggest Hayley Turner fan. She does take the ride. She did win at Royal Ascot, so I can't crib her too much. And that does put me off somewhat, I have to admit. It has sort of wavered my confidence with this horse somewhat. But I'm still going to keep the faith and hope that Roman Dragon comes out on top. Former course and distance winner can enter the winner's enclosure here at the Rudy once again. It's got a really advantageous draw in stall 1, which you obviously want in sprint races round Chester because of the tight left-handed turn. Has lots of ticks in the right box. And I'm hoping, despite the fact I'm not the biggest fan of the jockey, the horse can go and win. And Hayley Turner can give me one of them and tell me where to shove it. And in the process, we'll end up with a winner. So that is Roman Dragon there in the 307. We're going to go back to Flat HQ in the 335 at Newmarket. We'll go with another favourite here at the home of flat racing in the form of Spring Fever. Now, you could argue the 3-year-old probably should have won last time out, but could only manage to fill the runners-up spot. Now with the Gobston team in better form, and it also gets a weight for age allowance against some of her rivals, she can go one better here. Although I do have to be somewhat concerned about D-Day Arvel and Arriva. That does concern me. It is a viable and dangerous threat, but I'm going to go with Johnny G, and hopefully John Gosden can ensure Spring Fever gets back to winning ways here at Newmarket in the 335. Those are my first 4 selections. I'm going to go back over to Ireland for my 5th. I'm going to go with Goody Two Shoes here in the 435. And it is the Ladies Derby Handicap. All female jockeys are going to be in the lineup. Very interesting race. And it's not often that you'll see Rachel Blackmore on the level. But here she is teaming up with legendary owner, the Green and Gold Silks of JP McManus, and trainer Joseph O'Brien. Goody Two Shoes, as you can see on screen, is her mount. Now, yes, it does have top weight. And yes, there's 15 horses in this race. So again, it's a horse that you have to take with a degree of caution. But I honestly think that this horse has been set out for the race. The horse loves to go well fresh. It's had a sizable layoff, even though it did run over jumps on its most recent start, albeit that was about 4 or 5 months ago. I think that will still ensure that it's got the sort of the conts going. It's really lightly raced, ticks plenty of boxes. I do have a slight question mark over the trip, but I'm hoping Rachel can fire this one to victory. Goody Two Shoes there in the 435 at the Curragh. Now my final selection, my 6th and final selection, where we ended up with a big prize winner yesterday. Hopefully we can do the same again today, although it's not quite 33 to 1. I'm going to go to Doncaster and go in the penultimate race, the 8:30. I'm going to go with Matisse. Now, the race itself is really competitive. It is a sprint handicap. I'm hoping that this former course victor can strike again. If you watched the video yesterday, you know that I'm a massive fan of horses that have done well at Doncaster previously. That's a massive tick in the right box for analysing any race at this course. But it was an encouraging run last time out. Should stand the Tim Easterby horse in good stead for this. Off a workable mark. Shouldn't be far away. I have to be honest, though, of the remainder, there's one that does strike a little bit of fear in the heart. It's former Group 3 winner Cairn Gorm, likely to improve for his recent return from a lengthy absence. and seems the likeliest to cause our selection problems. But Matisse, I think, is a really attractive price now at 8-1. Was shorter earlier in the week, but Matisse is the one for me to hopefully finish in the money in the 8:30 at Doncaster. So here are my 6 selections: Ice Cold in Alex and Goody Two Shoes, both at the Curragh. We've got Royal Charter and Spring Fever at Newmarket, Roman Dragon at Chester, and Matisse at Doncaster. I'm going to be batting them in an each way lucky 63. As always, hopefully we can have somewhat of a repeat of yesterday. Maybe even take them as a guide of what horses not to back. Maybe just take a few that you like. Whatever you want to do, obviously, show you're 18 before you gamble and gamble responsibly. I've been Rory Paddock for picksfromthepaddock.co.uk. Head on over to our app where we've got selections from Greyville in South Africa. We've got a preview of the Pretty Polly Stakes over in Ireland. And we've also got every race on ITV covered, all completely free. Any likes, comments and shares, very much welcome. And fingers crossed, touch wood, and good luck if you follow.